What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on for Mike here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Memphis Dynasty here on NCAA Football 2012. And we got a challenge to start this series. We are going to be at home to start this first game out, but that being said, we are going to be taking on the number 19 ranked team in the nation, the Mississippi State Bulldogs, and man, are they going to challenge us for sure. They are B pluses across the board, whereas we're a D plus overall squad with a D plus offense and a D defense. So this is going to be a challenge for our football program as we start this series, and we're going to find out real quick what we're going to need to work on, because it is not going to be easy. So buckle up, guys. This is going to be a fun one. Make sure you go ahead, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. But before we jump into the gameplay, let's go ahead and take a quick peek at what we got going on with our recruiting board. So a quick disclaimer before I get this rolling, I did end up recording this before I got some feedback about how you guys want to see recording in episode number 1. So if the feedback's a little bit different than what you're seeing here, then I will adjust moving forward. But that being said, we are going after a few free stars because those 4 and 5 stars, they are certainly not showing us any love whatsoever. So these are the 8 main guys that I want to bring in. But that being said, the biggest target for us this year, because this is a real need, we need a middle linebacker. So first phone call of the entire series, we're going to go to Jamal Williams real quick. And here's the thing, the players will dictate how you want to go about how their conversations are going to go, right? Occasionally you will get a choice, you get a chance to change the topic to something else if you're not comfortable with it. But that being said, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna ask him about what he thinks about campus lifestyle. Doesn't really care about that, that's all right, even though that's an early thing. But a big thing for us though, early playing time, and he is really interested in starting early, so that's going to really play in our favor moving forward. And then, since we know that's a big thing for him, we're going to do something here. We're going to give Jamal Williams a scholarship, and he won't accept the scholarship right away. In some cases, what ends up happening is every once in a while, they will end up committing to you right away, but we don't get that with Jamal Williams. As for the other players that I am going to be looking at, I really want to get some talent in here, and we're going to eventually need some replacement at wide receiver. Jesse Holt, Trey Poland, Mark Smith are guys I'm going to try to get after as well. Derek Davenport is also in there, but a few other free stars that I'm going to be looking at as well and going to spend some time on. Andre Gray, he's going to be a free star quarterback. Center Grant Inman, I want to try to move up his board as well. And then of course Shannon McCutcheon, get another scrambler in there. I do like him as a dual threat. Now with the 10 hours that we have, I will not necessarily use all 10 hours. I'll give some time to my coordinators. I do have that on auto. That's why I have 35 players on my recruiting board, stuff like that, because realistically it's not just the head coach that's doing the recruiting. The coordinators also go out and recruit, identify players, and help out from that recruiting section as well. So I will have that built in on top of that. But that being said, lads, the wait is gonna be over. We about to go ahead here, run out the tunnel, starting a new era of Memphis football. Y'all see this Liberty Bowl. We don't got it filled up, not even remotely close. We're gonna get there someday, but for now, we are just excited to run out onto the field for our very first game in this NCAA 12 Dynasty. We'll see what this team is made up of, man, because we're here at home, but we are taking on an SEC squad as a huge underdog. And we did end up deciding to defer to the second half, so Mississippi State, they get the ball first to start this game. Vince Thompson gonna move somebody out on a motion, tries to throw it out onto the flat. I need that interception bad, my guy. But we do get him to a 3rd and long, and we could very well Get them boys off the field. Let's see if we can get that free and out to happen. And Vince Thompson, he's going to throw a dot over to the right-hand side. How about that 10 toes down movement in full effect? So that does move the chains for a first down. But we do get him to yet another 3rd and long. Trying to get him off the field. Force a punt on our first drive of the series as Vince Thompson is going to throw that one away. And so we do end up taking over. They do pin this in pretty deep though. We're going to start this drive out inside the 10-yard line. And our first pass from Jesse Richard. He's our sophomore quarterback. We get it out the hail. And that's going to be good for a first down. That does get us to about the 20-yard line. And what's really nice about that, we can go ahead and get ourselves out of the of our own goalposts. It seemed like we have some breathing room. So now, 1st and 10 once again. We're just going to go with a straight run up the gut. And Jones finds a nice hole through the defense. Let's go, baby. Nice start by our offense. Always a good sign when you're able to run through an SEC defense. Trying to take down that SEC bias one game at a time. But we do run into a 3rd and 13. Richard drops back. We had someone wide butt naked open. But we couldn't get the pass off. We got sacked in the backfield. So that does end up meaning that we had to punt this football away. And, you know, it's been a pretty quiet first quarter. You know, most of the way through this first quarter, no one has really seriously threatened a score. But Mississippi State might change that here late in the first quarter as Vince Thompson able to find his man in the middle of the field. And we're closing in on a red zone opportunity unless our defense can snap out of it. But Vince Thompson is able to escape the pocket. That's good for a gain of 8. So now, 3rd and inches. Need our defense to really step up. Thompson's going to try to run for the first down marker. Our defensive linemen do contain him, but Vince Thompson able to show some serious strength and is going to get to that first down. So now a red zone opportunity for Mississippi State once again as Vince Thompson is able to, he's going to keep going loose with us here. He's going to run for another gain of 7. We'll see if we can keep him in the pocket, but no, they actually run a halfback screen and we have been bamboozled. We have been fooled and they set us up perfectly. The running threat by Vince Thompson meant we sent that blitz to counteract that. And that screen was just a perfect call at the right opportunity. And so the Bulldogs of Mississippi State take a 7-0 lead. What's worse for us, though, is that they actually do force a free and out on us on our next possession. So this is a real gut check for our defense. Can they hold out long enough while we're trying to get our offense going in this football game? They do go and run yet another halfback screen before we get into the end of the first quarter. Listen, they're playing tough, 7-0. We just got to find that offensive rhythm, and then we can mess around and pull this upset to start the series. So second quarter now getting officially underway here as they'll start the second quarter with a halfback counter up the middle of the field. Able to run it right up the gut for a first down. That was Ratliff that was killing us on this particular running play. And then he will also kill us in the air as well. His second receiving touchdown. Again on that halfback screen. Just our entire defense was sucked in. And Mississippi State, they had the numbers. Especially once he broke that tackle in the open field. We already knew it was going to be barbecue chicken. So now we're down 14-0. We really need our offense to come through right now. Need a first down. Richards going to face some pressure up the middle of the field. We get it out to Douglas. That's one of the stars of this football team that I highlighted back in episode number 1. And we're going to need a lot of him today if we're going to pull this win off. 3rd and 10 meanwhile. Trying to pick up another first down. Richards looks to the left-hand side. And oh, I was expecting that cut a little bit sooner. That's what makes NCAA 12 a little bit different from 14. You can't anticipate the cut as much. You have to actually wait until your receiver starts that cut. So, you know, we're definitely learning. We'll trial by fire because, guys, I didn't even do any test games, to be honest with you guys. I am going in blind, and let's just add to the challenge, baby. We are going to learn on the fly, or we're going to end up getting fired. There's going to be no in-between. And right now, we are getting absolutely shredded right now. Another big play by Vince Thompson. Carries the Mississippi State offense across midfield. But we do get him to another 3rd and long. Do they try to run another screen? They do, but this time, our defense is able to get home. That's David Shaw, one of our interior defensive linemen, that's able to bring him down in the backfield. And it's a 4th down, but they're going to drive this field goal. This is a 60-yard field goal. I thought maybe I missed something and they got themselves a superstar at kicker. No, that was well short, gone by a country mile, and they bailed us out. They really did bail us out on that drive, but we couldn't do anything about it, even though we had really good field position. So Mississippi State, they come back out onto the field. Less than 2 minutes left to play in this first half, and we're starting to see a new wrinkle in this offense. They are going to start running this no huddle, and it's going to really test our guys' stamina. We are not very deep as a football team. As Thompson, he's going to be able to get loose once again, gets away from one of our linebackers. We do end up bringing him down eventually, but it's a huge gain for the Bulldogs that carries him inside the 30-yard line. Thompson looking to throw over the middle again. It is initially caught, but we do break that pass up. And so that does allow us the chance to get a couple of subs into this game and sets us up for a 3rd and 6. Thompson looking again to the left-hand side, and it's going to be deflected away. Defense able to hold up, and we're going to force yet another field goal. This is going to be a little bit closer of a field goal attempt. This one looks like about 40 yards and drills it right through the uprights. That is going to be good. And the Mississippi State Bulldogs, they had a nice little drive, 6 plays, 26 yards, as that will wrap up the first half of action. 17-0 going to be your score here in the Liberty Bowl as we wrap up this first half of action. We just got to find an offensive rhythm. We have a chance to make this interesting. Alright, boys, so while we did have a chance to start with the ball in the second half, we do go 3 and out once again. So we see this Bulldogs offense out on the field once again, and we give up yet another first down, this time off a crossing pattern. And Vince Thompson's having himself a solid day, 138 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Still waiting for that first turnover of the season, waiting to see if we can actually make that happen in this first game of the episode, as Alfonso Ratliff is also having a solid game. So they're getting whatever they want in the air and in the ground. As Thompson looks over the middle of the field, he's going to complete yet another pass here for a first down. And those Mississippi State Bulldogs, they are driving down the field as we try to find any way to just really slow this offense down. I just think we're at a point where our defense is looking gas. Offense is not really helping us out that much. It doesn't help when we can't sustain drives. I mean, this is really what's the byproduct of that is. As Thompson gets a chance to scramble once again, he is actually going to slide down in order to pick up the first down once more. So now 2nd and 6 coming out. Thompson looking for another red zone opportunity. He's going to throw a strike in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And not what you wanted to see. You see the look in Vince Thompson's eyes. That is a look of a killer, and he is certainly killing us here in this ball game. That's his 3rd passing touchdown of the day, and we are going to be down 24-0. It's been really brutal so far as we try to get our offense back to work, as we do pick up a solid gain on the ground, gain of 7. But this is a really important time for us. We got to sustain a drive. And we're going to start by calling some audibles at the line of scrimmage. Going to move Oliver into the slot. He's going to get the catch and hangs on to it. That's an actual first down for us. Not a lot of first downs in this game, but that's going to be a notable exception as we try to keep things going. Looks like Mississippi State, they are just waiting on our short passes. So gonna call yet another audible here, see if we can get our running back open on the wheel route, as Richard kind of throws one up, hoping for the best, and I'm actually really surprised that that was not intercepted. Not our best decision from us, but we got to get back at it. 2nd and 10. As Douglas drops back, he's going to look over the middle of the field, tries to throw it to the slant man, and Richard's pass is going to get batted at the line of scrimmage once again. And we got yet another 3rd down. And 3rd downs, they have not been friendly to us today. Just 1 for 9 on the day so far as we try to throw over the middle. This one will be converted though, as Oliver finds a space in the defense. And that's enough to move those chains so we can keep it rolling. Now sitting at midfield, we're now starting to find a rhythm, and that's the kid, our tight end, able to find an open space. We got ourselves an actual drive here, ladies and gentlemen. We might actually get a score in this game. I would really appreciate that. But we try to run a read option, and all of those hopes and dreams getting crushed quickly. Now it's a 3rd and 17. And again, they're pressing up on the line of scrimmage. I'm really surprised that they're doing that. So gonna audible to a 4 verts and hope that it hurts. We got a man open downfield, and it's gonna be caught by Douglas. Huge play. And we get our first goal line series of the series. Let's see if we can punch it in. Few plays later, 3rd and goal. Gonna pull the not the expert. We're gonna go fullback dive, and it's gonna be short. 4th down. What do we do? And you know what? As a great Uncle Sam's once said, scared money don't make any money. We're gonna go for it here. 4th and goal. We are gonna try to throw the slant pattern, and it's gonna be turned over on downs. That was a predetermined throw by me. If we look to the right, we could have had a touchdown, but we got a little narrow-minded there. So now Bulldogs are going to take over. But then we get a miracle. We get to literally intercept the pitch. It's going to technically count as a fumble recovery. I mean, just a nice job pouncing on that football. So that's Ryan Townsend's going to be the first person to score in this series, man. Let's go, baby. And we'll try to go for a 2-point conversion. It will make it a 16-point game if we get it, but we do not get that 2-point conversion. We also had a little bit of freezing. Keep in mind, this game is a decade old. Literally, it is literally a decade old. But we do cut into this score a little bit. We are going to be down by a couple of possessions. We're going to really need a really strong 4th quarter to get us back into this game if we will have any shot of winning this. So let's go. Let's see if our team has the cojones to hang with the Mississippi State Bulldogs as they start their first drive of the 4th quarter, as Ratliff comes back out onto the field for Mississippi State and gets a good run up the right-hand side, leading up to a 3rd and short. Critical 3rd down. Got to get him off the field. Thompson drops back, looks over to the left-hand side. He is able to find his man. Just found the soft spot in our man defense. Yeah, we were in man and somehow didn't stick to him. I don't know if he was trying to bait him or what, but clearly it did not work. And neither is our tackling, apparently. Had multiple broken tackles, able to bring him down eventually. But Mississippi State now dominating at the line of scrimmage. As Thompson, he's starting to have all day to throw the football. He has some time. He could make himself a sandwich or something like that, and he can still get that pass off. As another 1st and 10. Going to try to contain him on the scramble. We had a couple of guys who had a chance to make a play and can't get the job done. So yet another touchdown for Vince Thompson. We had a spy. Well, we had a de facto spy. Neither of them can bring him down. Neither our spy nor our defensive lineman. Just Vince Thompson making some plays. And we go 3 and out once again. We are just out of gas. So I'm just kind of hoping that our defense can create a play for us here. That could spark our defense up a little bit. Able to get a rare sack, as that looks like that's Dante Rhodes. Able to win a double team. How about that? Showing some heart. And it's going to be 3rd and 20 because of it. Let's get him off the field. Thompson dropping back, looks over the middle of the field, throws it on a rope, and on a 3rd and 20, they are going to convert. I am butthurt, and it's a new set of downs. We get bit on the play action next play, and that 3rd and 20 that we gave up, that's going to really cost us. We give up yet another touchdown. I was expecting the run, given that this would be a conducive situation to run out the clock, and we were bamboozled once again. So definitely some growing pains in this series. That's what I'm anticipating, and we lose big in this one, man. We lose 48-6, gonna be your score. We don't even get any offensive points. We had our defense get those points for us. Definitely a lot of work that needs to be done if we want to be successful. All right, boys, so kind of what we expected here playing against an SEC team, and it just shows how much progress we need to make before we can consider ourselves even close to a national contender. We lost by 40 plus in this game, man, and it was just dominance across the bar. We only had 114 yards of total offense. They had 466. We had 7 yards rushing. They had 173. And we only had 100 yards passing, while they were able to amass almost 300 yards. And, you know, one good thing that we did do was we didn't turn the ball over very much. We only lost a single fumble towards the end of the game, but they dominated us in pretty much everything else. So the stats for our guys, Jesse Richards, you know, tough day for him. 7 for 26, 107 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. DeMarcus Mason was the backup. He was 0 for 2, but I think moving forward, I want to try to get him onto read option packages, because Jesse Richards was not it today. Running the football, we couldn't even do much of anything. William Jones was our leading rusher. He had 15 carries for 37 yards on the day. Receiving wise, only got a few receivers involved. No one had more than 2 catches, but Anthony Douglas was our leading receiver today. He had 2 catches for 50 yards. We had a ton of drops in this one too. 7 drop passes. We simply cannot have that moving forward if we have any chance of winning any games. Defensively, our leading tackler was Vince Tate. He was killing it on the, through a defense today. 11 tackles, 7 of which were solos. Julian Jackson, our junior free safety, he had 7 total tackles in this game, but 5 of them were solos. Then Rocky Scott, our other linebacker, he actually played a solid game. 5 solos, 3 assisted tackles, had 8 total tackles in the game. We did get to the quarterback quite a bit. That is something that I am pretty happy about. We got 5 sacks in this game. Rhodes had a couple. Seth Bryan had a couple of sacks. And then Michael Shaw, our star defensive lineman, he got a sack as well. And then, of course, we didn't technically force any fumbles because it came off the pitch, but it was Ryan Towns who is going to score our very first points in this entire series. He had 3 total tackles in this one, but a defensive touchdown is what prevents us from going shut out completely in our first game of this series. Now, even though we were completely plastered by Mississippi State in our home opener, we still managed to get a couple of recruits in spite of that. We got 2 players to sign with the program. We got Chris Spence. He's the number 124th ranked guard in this recruiting class from Jefferson City, Tennessee. He will fill a need on our offensive line. And then speaking of that offensive line, we also managed to sign Matthew Bailey. He's the number 126 ranked tackle in our class. He will also fill that tackle need. So it's one less need that we need to necessarily worry about, and it helps strengthen our pipeline in the state of Tennessee. But the good news about that Mississippi State game is that throughout the rest of this season, we will not play anybody as tough as them. And now we can look forward to next time out, we try to move forward and play a little bit better. Next episode, we will go on the road for the very first time this season, and we will take on the Arkansas State, where I think they're called the Red Wolves, in this time period. Let me know if I'm wrong down in the comments section, but I still hope you enjoyed today's episode, even though it did end up being a blowout initially. Better days ahead for us for sure, man. So hopefully we can get some wins here in season number 1, starting with this one potentially. So all that being said, if you enjoyed today's episode, man, make sure you go ahead, smack that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. This is John J Gaming on the mic, signing off, but I'm hoping you're all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.